guys, Scott at SE Landscaping. Late morning here in County Durham, and it has never stopped. Raining since we came out. The good news is I'm bored and dry, because as I've explained on previous, I've got a good set of Gore-Tex waterproofs that keep me dry. So the plan just before lunch is I'm going to another cemetery, believe it or not. All our footage seems to come from cemeteries nowadays. And in the back of the van I've got our Camon SG30 stump grinder on the back, in the back, and we've got a couple of stumps that trees were felled last year, and the council members have decided they'd like the stumps removed. So I don't think I've had this machine out on any videos before. I have used it a few times, and a lot of people have asked about stump grinders and things, so I'll get a bit of footage. These stumps are only small ones, if I remember rightly. I think they might even be less than a foot, but I've took out some decent size, sort of 2.5 foot stuff with this. It's a good machine, and it does a good job. So I'll get you some footage once we get to the site. I'll show you what we're going to be doing, and let you see it in action. So this is the Camon Stump Grinder SG30, but from Trackmaster Limited. It has got a Honda engine, as you can see. Very easy to operate. PPE first, which consists of earmuffs, glasses, boots and gloves. And basically your controls, you've got your choke here, and then you've got your throttle. So depending how big or how rotten the stumps are, you may need to max it out, or you may need just a little bit. And basically that's pretty much for the operation. This is a brake, so if you feel that the stumps, I like to leave it side to side, but if you feel the stumps are tough, then you need the brake on, or if you're on a bank you need the brake on, and you can just leave it side to side and it will dig in. Coming round, moving parts, just tip this back, and these are your teeth. So they're very easy to change, as you can see. You just need a couple of spanners and you take these off, these bolts, because that's all they are, a giant bolt with a nut on the end. And there's 1, 2, there's 4 on there, so, well, 2 on either side, so there's actually 8. And that's pretty much it. That's the only rotating part on the machine. This is the stump we're going to tackle today. Now usually if we were in a public place or anywhere where there was people or obstacles such as cars and things, we would have our barriers up, and just to protect from flying debris. But here we've got a hedge and we've just got the grassed area, so we're not going to put anything up. We don't need it. So I shall get you some footage. this stump is just to get it below the surface for seeding, which is good enough there. So we'll take this away, a bit of soil on in a couple of weeks time and a bit of seed, and you'll never know it was there. Other ones, if people want to replace them and put plants in, then we would have to dig around a bit more and grind it down a bit lower, just so that we could get the plants or whatever in. But like I say, this is all we need here. So it's 4 inches below the surface there. Like I say, soil, seed, job done. So there you have it, guys. From getting the machine out the van to putting it away and grinding the stump, sort of 10 minutes work. If it was the middle of summer, obviously you've got to put soil and stuff in there as well, so you'd be looking at maybe 20 minutes. Now, coming on to the reason I purchased this machine, I had a customer who wanted 2 stumps grinding. One was about 18 inches across and one was probably about 2 foot. And she'd got a couple of quotations from people because I said, obviously I don't do it. And I'd gone to do a visit on the Friday and she'd mentioned that she'd booked a guy in to do the stumps. And I just happened to ask what the cost was, because I had lots of other jobs, and if this guy was reasonable, then I was gonna, and he did a good job, then I was gonna pass some work on to him. And she came back and said to me he wants £400, and the other guy was slightly more expensive, so she'd gone with the cheaper one. And my next port of call was to my dealers to purchase a machine and for her to cancel the guy coming, because it was daylight robbery basically. And I purchased this machine, if I remember roughly, it was £3,500 I think. Purchased this for. It's made a lot of money, it's been on hire, and I'd started doing it. I haven't really advertised it a lot, but I've advertised it just locally, and I've been getting a lot of jobs for the machine. And like things like that job today, I mean, if people are charging £200 for 20 minutes work, yes, you've got a machine that you've got to buy, but that machine will quite swiftly pay for itself if you're charging them rates, and you don't need to charge them rates. So I'm charging a decent amount of money to take stumps out, and like I say, that machine we've had now for about 7 or 8 months, and it's paid for itself in 7 or 8 months, which is a good return. I haven't replaced any teeth on it yet, but the teeth aren't a lot of money. I think you're talking about £40 to replace the whole kit there. There's no other parts need replacing apart from a service every year or every couple of years, depending on how often you're using the machine. So that's why I invested in the machine, because like I say, people might think that yeah, you've got this machine, but you need to make that amount of money. But I don't think that way. I think a fair amount of money for a reasonable price. That's what we've built a business on. And like I say, I'm charging a decent amount of money, and we're getting lots of work for it. So that's if you think of investing in one of these, I would definitely go for it. Yes, they're not going to do meter across tree stump, but 2.5 foot, they eat them up all day, as you saw there. I mean, that tree stump there was around a foot, and it took what 4 or 5 minutes to do. So definitely worth the investment, guys. Hope the video's helped as usual, and we will see you on the next one.